welcome everybody to GodFit. We're still going over medicinal herbs, and we're going to be making a lip balm or lip salve today as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. I'm going to be talking about elderberry. Elderberries are a dark purple berry of the European or black elder tree. It grows in Europe, North America, Western Asia, and North Africa. The elderberry has a very rich source of anthocyanins that essentially contribute to high antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. Elderberries are used for medicinal purposes and traditionally consumed to prevent or reduce the effects of many diseases, such as respiratory tract infections, pain, neuropathy, headache, arteriosclerosis, diabetes, arthritis, and cancer. Make sure when you're taking the elderberry that it's always cooked first. Elderberries contain a toxic substance when not cooked that can cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Also take caution if you're on blood pressure medication, since it naturally lowers your blood pressure. On the tree, only consume the berries because also the leaves and the stems are toxic as well. So just the berries themselves. God says, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all earth, and every tree with seed in it." And in Malachi 3:6, God says, "For I am the Lord, I change not." So that tells you that He is the same God yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And if He tells us we can consume something, then we know that it's God's word is true today as it always has been. And then I'm also going to tell you guys how to make elderberry gummies. I didn't bring a demonstration today because we have other demonstrations, but for elderberry gummies, you can make these at home. You would get elderberry syrup at the store. You can find it, I believe, at Hy-Vee has it. And you would mix 1 cup of the elderberry syrup in a small pot. You would get also beef gelatin. And you would mix that with 2 tablespoons of beef gelatin and let it set for 5 minutes so the gelatin can absorb the liquid. Then move the pot to the stove and heat it for 3 to 4 minutes until the gelatin dissolves completely. Carefully pour the mixture into the gummy molds. So you'll want some type of like a silicone type gummy mold, like a candy mold or something like that when you make these. It can be any shape, it doesn't matter. And then you carefully pour the mixture into the gummy molds, then you place the molds in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours to set. You can store the gummies in an airtight container and keep them in the fridge for 2 to 4 weeks. And then children 3 years or older can have 1 gummy per day, and adults can take 2 to 3 gummies per day, but you do not want to give elderberry to infants that are 1 year or younger. So, all right, go ahead.
I'm going to be talking.
Thank you.
I'm going to be talking about reishi mushroom and the key information and medicinal benefits. So, in the information in front of you, on the first 7 pages, is what I'm going to go over first, and then I will clue you to go to the next piece of information. But the key information and medicinal benefits: reishi is a medicinal fungus long used in traditional Chinese medicine. Modern research suggests it may support immunity, reduce inflammation, and potentially influence fatigue, mood, or metabolic health. Evidence is promising but still developing, and it should be used cautiously. What the reishi mushroom is: the scientific name is the Ganoderma lucidum. Forms become available in a dried mushroom, hot water extracts or teas, and tinctures, capsules, tablets, and powders. Reishi is not typically eaten as food because it's tough and bitter. It's mainly consumed as an extract. The medicinal benefits are for the immune system, potentially anti-cancer properties, reduced fatigue and improved mood, heart and metabolic health, anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects, cognitive and nervous system support. They do have side effects. Consuming reishi, choosing the quality product. In your handout, there's some examples of some quality capsules, or I think it's capsules and I can't remember the other form of the pill. Anyway, so you can so this was based on what was available in Iowa. You can also go out and forage for the reishi mushroom. And before we move on, so some of the pills and the
These are some pills.
Yep, you can also get them at Hy-Vee in the organic section, or at like Whole Foods or some of those other
Campbell's.
stores. Yep.
That's another
Campbell's.
good one.
And then, so the breakdown and why they're good, they're real mushrooms, and I'm sorry, I will let you guys read the rest of the information just for sake of time, and so that we give Chris enough time as well.
I want to.
Yeah. Oh, she's
There-
got biblical stuff she wants
Yep,
to read.
there is, since this is GodFit class, there are some biblical themes that relate to healing plants, including the reishi mushroom. And so things to remember is, like, if you're out foraging for the mushroom, you can take some of these scriptures with you, write them down, or memorize them, and you can say them while you are foraging. Or if you're making a tea, you could sit and go over the scripture and just kind of become one with God's creation. And so there's a few scriptures in here, but one of them that I will bring up is in Ezekiel 47:12. It says, "Their fruit will be for food, and their leaves for healing." And so there's like five or six different scriptures in there. The next piece of information in your pamphlet is regarding foraging in Iowa. It gives you information of where the reishi grows, best places to find it, and some identification picture of what the reishi mushroom looks like. I'm sure you guys have probably seen this mushroom.
So this one's in Iowa. For sure.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so there's also tips in here how to harvest the reishi mushroom and using it. But there are some safety precautions in here. Please be sure to note those in this information. But for those watching, some of the safety information is never consume the mushroom unless you're 100% sure of what you're consuming, because you could get sick. And sometimes even it could cost your life. If you're new to foraging, consider joining an Iowa mycology group or going with an experienced forager. Some people experience stomach upset from reishi tea, so if you are trying it out for the first time, I would recommend 1 cup. I've drank this. I've drank 2 to 3 cups in a day, and it's not impacted me, but we're not all created equally. Our digestive systems are not all at the same level. They were probably all created equally, but not treated equally.
Not aged equally.
And that is all I have on the reishi mushroom. You guys have any questions?
On the mushroom or the elderberry.
So, I'm gonna be talking about avocado seeds. So that's not something you necessarily have to forage for. Praise God for that. But the one thing that I found interesting when I was looking at this information is that avocado seeds are often discarded and they contain up to 70% of the fruit's antioxidants, providing a lot of benefits. Some of the benefits are that it is rich in soluble fiber and phenolic compounds. They may aid in blood sugar regulation and heart health. The seeds can be dried, ground, and boiled into teas. Some of the health benefits and compounds. The high antioxidant content. The seed contains potent antioxidants, including vitamin C, flavonoids that help protect cells from damage. And then it also improves cardiovascular health, and the soluble fiber in certain compounds such as lauric acid may assist in managing cholesterol and high blood pressure. Anti-inflammatory and anti-aging effect benefits. The phenolic compounds from in the seed possess anti-inflammatory and potential anti-aging properties. Blood sugar regulation is another one. Some studies suggest that the ground avocado seeds can help regulate blood sugar levels, particularly for people with diabetes. The digestive health, kind of going back to that high fiber, supports the digestive system. Methods to prepare and use avocado seeds are, and it didn't include one, so I'm going to include it. Ground it into powder, dry the seeds, then chop and blend into a fine powder for smoothies, teas, or yogurts. Avocado seed tea, boil the grated seed in 1 liter of water for 10 minutes for a bitter tea rich in antioxidants. Tinctures, a mixture of a seed and alcohol, can be used for treating inflammation. Now, follow up on this, but I know that there are many tinctures that you can use vinegar or apple cider vinegar as a substitute for alcohol.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you explain what a tincture is? Because I didn't even know that coming into this class, and maybe a lot of people don't know what a tincture actually is.
Okay, so when a tincture is like what you take when you have your cough syrup. It's a multitude of things that has benefits, and it's more about how it's prepared. When you're making a tincture, it's usually putting things into a container and then putting it in a cabinet and forgetting about it for like 4 to 6 weeks, turning it, shaking it up maybe once a week. And then at the end of that time, then it becomes this very potent form of medicine. But the thing that it says that this tincture for the avocado seed is used to help treat inflammation. The one that it did not talk about, that I'm going to talk about, is using it to make oil. So making your own oil is actually a lot easier than people might think. And it's highway robbery when you buy it at the store. I'm just telling you right now. I made probably 20 batches of that frankincense oil, and it cost me next to nothing to make when you look at the price of what it charges for a single bottle of frankincense oil. That's not even probably that pure.
Avocado oil's expensive.
Yeah, avocado oil is
Olive oil.
expensive. Now, that being said, there are certain oils that do require a certain method of extraction. It depends on what parts of the herb or the seed or the whatever that you're trying to get from it. So far, the method that I've been doing has been kind of like I'm canning it, and then at the end, and then you boil it in this hot water, mixing it, you know, make sure, the main difference is don't cover the lid. But you mix it up and then boil it on high heat for like an hour and a half. And then at the end, you want to use a funnel, a strainer, and cheesecloth to strain all of that oil that you just made into another container that's the same size. And then after that, then you can start either using it for the oil or you can start adding it to things. So today we made lip balm or skin protectant, depends on how you want to use it. So before we get to this, what we had to use to mix the beeswax that was required to make this was this little thing.
If you bring it over here a little bit further.
Yeah, I don't know how much further we'll get it though, because it's a short cord.
Okay.
But this is called a vortex stirrer. And when you're dealing with certain things that have to remain at the same temperature for an extended period of time, you want to make sure that it's continuing to stay liquid. So, all right, let's see if I can figure out how to do this while it's backwards. All right, so first I'm going to turn this on. Okay, so it makes a little volcano, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this to see if maybe, I don't know, can you guys see the funnel it's creating in the middle?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so when you're using the beeswax with the coconut oil, by the way, if anybody has a nut allergy, I'm so sorry. I did use coconut oil in this with the beeswax. But it's really important to keep it spinning at that same rate so that it doesn't start to solidify before you're ready to add your oil. So we added mint when we did do the avocado seed oil, just to give it a little bit of a flavor to the lip balm, because I don't know, it's better than a coconut avocado seed flavor. One of the things that it says to be to consider is that when you're working with the avocado seed, it can create a very bitter taste. I'm going to turn this off. Okay, but it can create a very bitter taste. This is not avocado seed oil. This is raspberry tea. I did not bring my oil. I figured I'd use something else just because it is really hard to, anyway, yeah. But another thing that it talks about is if you are going to consume avocado seeds, it does say to limit your consumption of them. It's advised, yeah, it just says it's advised to only do it occasionally. It says, while studies show potential, many benefits are derived from animal studies or general nutritional research. So, I don't know. I'm inclined to think that it's probably pretty healthy for you. You're probably okay using it. And if you are not wanting to consume it, other options are you can use it for skin and hair care. Ground seed powder is often used in exfoliating scrubs or hair masks to manage dandruff and oily hair, or lip balm. natural dyes. If you boil the seeds, it can produce a pinkish red natural dye for, I don't know what a textile is. A what?
Material.
Oh, for clothes, okay. Neat. I was gonna say, I probably should have looked that up before we got on. And then gardening, you can use the seed to start your own avocado houseplant, which Katie has gifted me with in the past. And my avocado tree was doing really well until we got that bad storm last year. And then it was not doing so well. So I've got 6 more to try this year.
Oh, mine's gone too, I'm sad to say. My move put it in shock. So.
But also, if you're trying to grow an avocado plant in Iowa, be aware that it does require a lot of humidity. So you are going to want a temperature controlled room for your avocado tree. But yeah, honestly, that's all I have. If you guys want to come up and try the lip balm, we've got some Q-tips, and just kind of dip the Q-tip on in there, and
Just a reminder about the nut.
oh yeah, a reminder about the coconut oil that is in here. We do want to try to do beef tallow next time, but we did not have enough time to make beef tallow to go into it, so.
I do want to say one thing.
Yeah.
On the avocado seed, an easy way, so this is what I learned from growing avocados anyways, the trees. You need to soak the avocado seed in water for a couple hours before you get the true seed, because it has like a little peel around it. So once you soak it for a little while, you may even need to do it for a whole day. And then it'll easily, you can peel off the outer layer of the seed and you'll get the true seed inside. So I did want to say that. But yeah, do you have any questions, anybody, on avocado, reishi mushroom, or elderberry, or anything about the lip salve, or?
I have a question on that berry.
The elderberry?
Yeah. Is it poisonous if you don't cook it?
You can still consume it, like it said, but it's
Raw?
gonna make you nauseous, vomit. You don't wanna eat I don't know, you probably could die from it if you ate a lot of it. So yes, it is toxic, it has to be cooked.
Has to be cooked.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yep, and then the stems and leaves are not edible either.
What?
They're not,
Oh.
the leaves and the stems and stuff, the bark, that's not edible. So it's only the berry themselves. Any more questions or anything?
You guys have any questions? Where do you find these mushrooms?
Oh, yeah, where would you find these in Iowa?
So in your handout information, thank you. Let me just get to that quick.
Like in the woods?
Yes.
It
And
shows you a picture.
it
in the
says
packet.
here, so basically where it grows is like a morel mushroom, dead or drying hardwoods, especially oak, maple, elm, beech, hickory, and occasional, you can find them on stumps or fallen logs. And again, it looks like this. It's kind of a kidney shaped is what they're saying. It's kind of a kidney shaped and mushroom.
So how do you properly like take it off of the tree?
So in your information, it has how to harvest it.
Oh, how to harvest
So
it.
you're
Okay.
gonna use a sharp knife to cut it at the base where it is in the stump or in the tree. And
Oh, how to harvest right here. Okay.
and harvest when the underside of it is still white.
Oh.
Avoid old, cracked, bug-eaten, or overly woody specimens. So meaning if it looks kinda like it's been there for a while, probably shouldn't take that one.
Okay.
And
You leave some behind, that's the same
Yep.
with the morels.
yes, and just like any of God's bounty that He's provided for us, we want to make sure and leave some behind for regrowth and also for the wildlife and for other foragers.
Okay, speaking of that, I have a really silly question. Do they have seeds, like morel has seeds where you use like a mesh net when you collect them?
I don't think so.
Spores.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
I think they're a little different than the morel because the morel is kind of has a different cap. This one is more of a shiny, slick cap where the morel has the spores, where it has the seeds in it where you would do that. But when in doubt, you could always throw it in the same bag. I reuse a lot of the, you get like children's toys or clothes sometimes, and they'll come in those zip bags, like mesh bags. I just use those and take them out with me and walk, and as you're collecting, you're also depositing the seed and wherever it falls, and it may take root.
I really like this lip balm. This is really nice.
Thank you.
All right, well, I think that's it.
That's everything? All right, well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.